Awesome. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Ryan. I'm excited to have this opportunity to share with you today Americo's systems, processes, as well as solutions to help you increase your sales. Get started today. First, we're going to start off with one of our latest solutions. It's the Quit Smoking Advantage for Final Expense. This is a great conversation starter with many of your clients. It's where you can offer your clients that use nicotine, if they've smoked or used nicotine within the last 12 months, and maybe they've been on the fence to buy Final Expense, this is an opportunity where you can offer them non-smoker rates with America's Quit Smoking Advantage. We take a look at the trends, and many individuals today, they need that motivation, that financial encouragement, and you can deliver this with America's Quit Smoking Advantage non-smoker rates at minimum for the first 3 years, and then if they're successful at quitting, they have up to 3 years. This is where they can receive those non-smoker rates for the life of the policy. So it's very innovative, and this is for agents that want to get paid more faster on their final expense business. It's got the systems and process to share with you. As Barry mentioned, I'm Stacy Gear, Sales and Marketing Trainer here at Americo. We're located here in Kansas City, home of the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. We're very excited about, and if you have any questions that come up today, I'd be happy to address those, or simply reach out to your agent services team. If you are taking notes, keep in mind we've got this easy email address for you to utilize. If you've got a request for materials or questions, send that to agent.services@americo.com. We can research and reply to you very quickly, and that way you can do what you do best, and that's stay in front of those new clients that need these solutions that we're going to share with you, sales ideas. And what makes our Eagle Premier Series so popular for Final Expense is it delivers the benefits that many of your clients want. We'll cover those competitive advantages, as well as this is an opportunity for you to receive an instant underwriting decision on your Final Expense business within about 5 minutes. The policy number will be provided at the point of sale. You can offer that to your clients, and typically that policy is going to be mailed the next business day. We stop and consider what it is that they want. They want to qualify for the Final Expense. They want it to be hassle-free, and Eagle Premier delivers all of these benefits. And the great news for you, agents, there are no amendments for you to case manage. It's very easy. There's no paperwork. And as I mentioned, if you want to get paid more faster on your Final Expense business, check with your commission on Eagle Premier's very competitive commission. And in addition, this is an opportunity for you to receive an 8% bonus. Americo pays the rewards 8% bonus on Final Expense business and many of our other life solutions. And we'll cover the details on where you can access that information. The next bonus payout will be actually mid-December. There's still plenty of time to qualify for the You First Rewards. It runs through November 30th, and if there's anything that we can help you with, that's what we're here for. But these are some of the reasons why agents choose the Eagle Premier Series for their clients' Final Expense solution. Here's an example of the You First Rewards that we wanted to share with you today. I know Barry mentioned that he was excited to share these bonus opportunities. For example, with Eagle Premier, there's an 8% bonus opportunity for those agents that qualify, that have at least $35,000 in qualifying credits. And then today we'll cover our HMS Plus solutions for younger clients. They don't necessarily have to have a mortgage. They make excellent solutions to protect the mortgage, but they're not required to. This is where you can receive, in addition to very competitive commission, a 10% bonus. So this is why we're excited you joined us today. And that's not all. When you partner and lead with Americo, at the end of the qualification period, we will take a look at the production, all production, and if you happen to be in first place based on your production, there's an additional top 5 bonus, 5,000 bonus, 4,000, 3,000. And if you're new to Americo, here's the great news. This You First Rewards, the qualification period, it starts up every 6 months. So this will be starting up once again December 1st. And then this typically will run through May 31st. And there's, if you haven't qualified this period, you can certainly do so. The next period is very attainable when you look at the average case size for either final expense or HMS Plus. Now, some of the reasons why agents and their clients love the Eagle Premier Series, as Barry mentioned, is it's simplified whole life for final expense. This makes it hassle-free, quick and easy for agents and clients. And the good news is there's only two products to choose from in this portfolio. And we'll cover how your clients can qualify for the Eagle Premier rates. It's been designed to let the automation work for you very quickly once your client signs that health information authorization form. This allows Americo to run the prescription check, and it's very sophisticated. We're seeing high approval rates, and this is where you can receive instant underwriting decision within about 5 minutes, and the total process to submit a Eagle Premier case takes maybe 15, 20 minutes, and you're done. And clients love it because they've received that full death benefit day one. Now, if you discover that maybe you have a client that has some health issues and they do not qualify for the Eagle Premier product based on the information that comes back from the prescription check, or if you have clients that maybe they don't want to answer any of the health questions, that's fine. You can offer Eagle Premier Guaranteed. This makes it quick and easy for you to transition right there at the point of sale, pivot, and offer the Guaranteed Issue product. And where the Guaranteed Issue product is approved, there is a 3-year graded death benefit, and I'll cover those details. But here's what's great is there's only 2 products to choose from, and this will offer coverage that many of your clients need and want. So now let's cover what you need to know regarding underwriting for Eagle Premier, those rates that are very competitive. For your clients that want to qualify, it's easy for you to review the health questions. There's approximately 11 health questions with your client, the proposed insured. Once they carefully review, reflect on that question, if they answer no to all the health questions and their height and weight fall within the bill chart guidelines, and I'll share how you can quickly access the bill chart, the agent guide today, and get started. And then we run that prescription check, and they can qualify for the Eagle Premier as long as they've answered no to all the health questions, their height and weight fall within the bill chart guidelines, and if there's no adverse concerns with the prescription check. The system is very sophisticated, so keep in mind if, for example, your client is taking Coreg as a medication, it may not be an issue if the medication has been prescribed by a general practitioner. However, if it comes back where a cardiologist has prescribed that medication, that's just an example maybe of an adverse prescription history concern where they wouldn't qualify for Eagle Premier, but that's where you can quickly transition, pivot to the Guaranteed Issue product. And the good news is you can see here by the bill chart, very liberal underwriting. This is what makes the solution popular. If you have a client that is 6 foot tall, for example, they can weigh between 130 and up to 313 pounds. So it's designed to let the automation work for you. Now let's cover what you need to know regarding the non-smoker definition for this for the Eagle Premier Series, the portfolio. A non-smoker is defined as anyone that has not used any nicotine products for at least 12 months prior to the application completion date. So if you've not taken a look at us in a while, this is a little bit different than maybe what you're accustomed to. This would include, and it's not limited to only cigarettes, it would include if your client, the proposed insured, is if they smoke cigars, pipes, chewing tobacco, snuff, any type of alternative delivery device such as nicotine chewing gum, lozenges, patches, nicotine patches, e-cigarettes, and another common question that comes up, any device used for the vaporization of liquid nicotine. And it is an excellent time to consider quit smoking. With Americo's Quit Smoking Advantage, this has been very popular and successful. We just introduced it a few months ago, and this can help you increase your sales in the fourth quarter. Also, with the holidays right around the corner, then those New Year's resolutions, your clients are looking for the encouragement, the motivation, the solution to help them quit. We had those friends, family members that they want to be well, and you can be the hero in their eyes and offer non-smoker rates for up to 3 years. And then if they provide evidence to America that they've been a non-smoker for 12 consecutive months prior to the 3rd anniversary, this is where they can continue to receive non-smoker rates for the life of the policy. It's simplified, whole life product, has that guaranteed death benefit. And when you compare final expense smoker rates out there, this provides that motivation that they need to be serious about quitting many times. And the earliest that the insured can verify that they have quit smoking would be upon the first policy anniversary. So let me just pause there for a moment. With the Quit Smoking Advantage, the policy that would be approved and issued is a smoker policy, and the system has been upgraded. It will automatically provide your client with non-smoker rates for the first 3 years. And then if they provide that evidence, another common question is, well, what do you mean by evidence? What do they have to provide? America's current practice to change a smoker policy to a non-smoker policy would be a home office specimen or a urine specimen, and then they can receive those non-smoker rates for the life of the policy from policy year 4 and beyond. And this is what makes it so popular. This would be available for the Eagle Premier product only. It's not available on the guaranteed issue product. When you run those quotes, and I'm going to share how easy it is to run the quote with the Quit Smoking Advantage, you can educate them on what the solution can do for them and uncover more opportunities and increase your sales, qualify for the You First rewards with the Quit Smoking Advantage. If we take a closer look, this will make it very clear. Let's say you have a client and he's 65. We're going to assume in this example that he's a smoker and he needs a $10,000 death benefit. When we run that quote for a smoker, the premium will automatically, it will provide the premium at $62.92 on a guaranteed basis. And how the Quit Smoking Advantage works, we have an example here on the left-hand side, years 1 through 3. This is where the premium is $62.92. The face amount is $10,000 in this example. Now, if this the insured is serious about quitting, they have up until the 3rd policy anniversary where they would reach out to Americo. There's nothing for the agent to do. There's no cost for the agent. There's no cost involved for the client. They would provide that request to attest that they have been a non-smoker for 12 consecutive months. This is where they get to keep that non-smoker premium for the life of the policy. The face amount stays the same. The premium remains the same for the whole life policy. Now, the next question you may be asking, well, what happens if they're not successful? They're not serious. If they don't reach out to Americo, what will automatically happen upon the 4th anniversary over here on the left-hand side, notice in year 4, if we do not hear from the proposed insured, the face amount will automatically reduce based on the client's age and smoker rate. In this example would be $5,420.30. The premium remains the same. Let's say this is being a monthly bank draft. That remains the same. The face amount decreases automatically. This is a flexible program, and clients like options, flexible options, based on feedback we receive from agents like yourself. And the next question is, well, what happens if the client they're not successful, they weren't able to quit, however, they reach out to Americo proactively and they request to pay a higher premium because they want to keep the face amount of their policy the same. They do not want their policy face amount to reduce, as we show here on the screen in the middle. In that scenario, they can pay the the smoker rate, and that would be the example on the far right, where they can choose that option. So this has been a program that has opened up more conversation, sales with the quit smoking advantage. It's a timely solution. I think all of you would agree when you consider the trends to be well. It's a wellness program, of course. There is a disclosure statement for your clients that are smokers, and this is a great outline because this walks your client through the various options. The policy, once it's quickly approved, typically that's going to be right there at the point of sale, approved within 5 minutes. You receive that instant underwriting decision. If they are a smoker, the proposed insured, and if the policy owner is different than the insured, would need to sign the disclosure. This provides that outline of the various options that are available for their smoker policy. Under benefit option A, the death benefit will decrease and the policy premium will remain level. Option B is where they would reach out to Americo proactively and request to pay a higher premium, the smoker rate, and keep the face amount the same. And then benefit option C is where they would attest that they have been nicotine-free for the previous 12 consecutive months. And so this is just the new disclosure statement that would be required to be signed. And we made this very easy. We realize that you may have questions, agents have questions, as well as your clients come up with really great questions. We've created a frequently asked questions brochure that you can access today from the microsite that we've created. I'm going to bring up the microsite here. It's www.americoeaglepremierseries.com. If you're taking notes, you want to bookmark that in your smartphone or your iPad. It's one of my favorites because there's no user ID or password required. And this is where you can access, after today's training, the Quit Smoking Advantage. I'm going to bring up the live version. And when I click on Sales Tools over here on the left-hand side of the microsite, from here I can quickly access. It's a little bit easier to read than the PowerPoint, as you can see. Bring up the live version here. But I think this will answer many of those questions that come up along the way. And in addition, we have excellent explanation of each one of the features and benefits, competitive advantages. Open up the agent guide. This will ensure that you and your client have the best experience at the point of sale with the agent guide. And I'm going to bring up the one-page reference sheet because this is a sales tool that's been very popular with agents because this has everything you need to know to get started today. You have the two products, Eagle Premier on the left, Eagle Premier, the guaranteed issue product on the right-hand side. Minimum face amount for this portfolio is as low as $2,000. For Eagle Premier, it goes up to a maximum of $30,000. Now, state of Washington, its minimum is $5,000. The guaranteed issue product, minimum face amount is $2,000 to keep in mind. The maximum is up to $10,000. Those are some of the differences between the two solutions. I want to point out over here on the right-hand side, for the guaranteed issue product, there is a 3-year graded death benefit that I mentioned at the beginning of the training, and this walks you through how that graded death benefit works. For example, let's say you have a client and they apply for $10,000 face amount, the guaranteed issue, they decide they don't want to answer any health questions. It's quickly approved and issued. If the insured should die by natural causes in year 1, for example, the death benefit would be premiums paid in plus 5%. In year 2, it's return of premiums plus 10%. Year 3, 75% of the face amount. And then year 4, it's 100% of the face amount. Now, I think based on when I go to my local community center that's very busy, a lot of retirees like to socialize, and we're all trying to be well. Even if they apply and are approved for guaranteed issue, they like the fact that Eagle Premier Guaranteed has enhanced value with the accidental death benefit provision. You notice here on the right-hand side. So don't overlook some of these competitive advantages when you quote the premiums for both Eagle Premier and the guaranteed issue. How that works is if the insured is, if they die by accident, let's say in year 2 during that graded death benefit period, the full face amount would be paid and not just the graded death benefit. And that's been very helpful. Now over here on the left-hand side, I just want to point out some of the riders that are built into the pricing when you quote Eagle Premier. In that previous example we looked at, for a 65-year-old male who's a smoker, what's included is the accidental death benefit rider. If he dies by accident, the death benefit will double. If he dies by accident within 90 days of having it, the death is the result of the accident, this is where the death benefit will double. And that's not all. If he's traveling on a common carrier, such as a train, an airplane, maybe a Greyhound bus, I think all of you would agree that many individuals during their retirement years, they like to travel, they want to stay active, and if the trends are to be well, they like knowing that when you quote that premium for Eagle Premier, what is included is common carrier provision, where should there be an accident that results in their death while traveling on the common carrier, the death benefit then triples. Now here's another one, the living benefit rider. Some agents like to open up the conversation. They can really get the client prospect's attention with a living benefit versus what the death benefit is going to be paid to the named beneficiary, because with the living benefit, this addresses the concern that's on the minds of many of your clients today. And how that works is, let's say, for example, you have a client and they apply for Eagle Premier. Let's say the maximum face amount, $30,000. They're quickly approved and issued a policy for $30,000. And many times in this age range, 50 to 85, those individuals, they've had that experience where they've had either a relative, a friend, a neighbor that has been, if they were diagnosed with a terminal illness, what goes along with that many times is significant increased medical costs is on the minds of many of us today. I think that's quite apparent that we're concerned about medical costs. And if you're with the accelerated benefit payment rider, how that works is they can access up to 50%. So in that example that I shared, if the policy was $30,000, they can access up to $15,000 while they're still living. They can use this money however they desire. If they want to use it towards medical costs, they don't want to be a burden to their family, or if there's a celebration of life event, maybe a special trip that they want to take. This has been very helpful to increase sales because they understand the valuable protection that it provides. Now, there's an optional rider. This is one of the easiest riders that you can add at the point of sale. Why is it so easy? Because there's no underwriting. Americo added this child and grandchild term rider to the Eagle Premier portfolio. It's for the Eagle Premier based on feedback that we received from agents. The agents love it because it doesn't take very long to visit with a client to determine who it is that they're passionate about. Maybe it's not their child this week, maybe it's their grandchild, and they want to provide that important protection. And there's no underwriting, and it goes a long way to help the agent with persistency and to qualify for the You First rewards. Because what they found is it's a little bit more challenging if another agent were to come behind you and try to replace that coverage just based on cost if you have a child or grandchild term rider. Between 1 and 5,000, you can add up to 10 children. The children are not required to be dependents. They're not required to reside with the insured. So it's a very flexible child rider that you may want to take a closer look at. And it is an optional rider for an additional cost. I do want to mention that. These two riders, the accidental death and the accelerated benefit, they are included when you quote Eagle Premier into the pricing. You have the build chart here for Eagle Premier on this one-page fact sheet, and you have state availability that is important to quickly access some of those state variations for the tele-app and e-app that we're going to talk about here in just a slide or two. So I just wanted to point out, I'm going to bring up the the microsite one more time. I know it's kind of long. It's www.americoeaglepremierseries.com. There's a lot of valuable information there. We have trainings, everything you need to get started after today. There's actually 2 ways that you can submit a final expense case to Americo when you choose the Eagle Premier Series. There's e-application. This is the most favored way, the most utilized way to submit business to Americo is Eagle Premier and the e-application. Agents love it because there's no phone call required to Americo at the point of sale. It just makes the client meeting a little bit easier because there's no phone call required. Within 5 minutes, you receive the instant underwriting decision. And there's more, we realize you're working real hard out there in the field, many times evenings, weekends, and this allows agents to submit more business, stay in front of new clients that are ready to buy, reach clients that are remote, not just clients that are face-to-face with email signature in the e-application process. Now, the other way to submit business, let's say you're out on the golf course or you're in a rural area where there's no internet connection. You forgot, you don't have your iPad with you. You can submit the Eagle Premier final expense application by tele-application. The only thing that's required is your phone. There's no computer, no internet needed. You will be required to collect some information, and we have a worksheet that's very helpful to collect the information that's needed, and then you drive the call. Now, the only limitation when you compare tele-application to e-application, many times that's a common question that I receive. What's the difference between the two? The hours to support tele-application will be a little bit more limited versus e-application. For us to accept that verbal authorization, run the prescription check, verbal signature, we are available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time to receive a verbal tele-application for Eagle Premier. Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The step-by-step process to submit by e-application or tele-application, you can quickly access from the agent guide and the microsite. Makes it very easy. Now, one more limitation that I didn't mention. If you have a case scenario where your client is replacing coverage, if they're replacing coverage, the only way that you can submit that business would be e-application. Tele-application would not be available. So I do want to mention that. One other important thing to note is there is no paper application with Eagle Premier Series. To receive that instant underwriting decision, it's e-application or tele-application only. And how can you quickly get started to access Americo's rates? The Eagle Premier Series, and we're going to cover the HMS Plus. We're going to touch on some sales ideas for the You First Rewards with HMS Plus in just a moment. You can access both portfolios from quote.americo.com. If you bookmark that in your smartphone, the power will be in your pocket no matter where you're at. You can quickly access Americo's rates. There's no user ID or password required, and it's very easy to access a quick rate and cover the quit smoking advantage as well. So I'll bring up, you just bring up the mobile version here to give you an example of quote.americo.com. Let's see here. Okay. So when you bring this up on your smartphone, simply choose the state where you're doing business. And we were talking, let's show Missouri. And choose the product, Eagle Premier Series, and then click on Create. So let's look at that quit smoking advantage. Let's say our client is 65. In that previous scenario, we said he was a male. We'll choose male, and he was a smoker. This is the important step. Click on Smoker, and then choose the face amount for Eagle Premier. The minimum is $2,000. The maximum is up to $30,000. You can solve by using the premium amount based on your client's budget if needed. Simply click on this box, enter the amount that they indicate that they can pay, and it'll solve for a guaranteed death benefit. In this scenario, I'll leave the face amount at $10,000. I'm going to click on Run. If I wanted to add those, the child rider, I could do so here. But I'm just going to click on Run for time's sake. Because I want to point out how quickly you can get started with the Quit Smoking Advantage. You have all of this information available right here at your fingertips. You have the non-smoker rate for 3 years at minimum, first 3 years, and then if they are successful at quitting, they provide that evidence to Americo that they've been a non-smoker, no nicotine for 12 consecutive months prior to the 3rd anniversary. This is where they get to keep that non-smoker rate. The face amount stays the same. If they do nothing, you have the where the face amount will automatically decrease in year 4. If they decide that they want to proactively reach out to Americo and pay the higher premium in year 4 and beyond and keep the face amount the same, you have that rate available right here from the mobile app as well. So there's many solutions to choose from. It's easy to quote. Let me go back here. That's just one way. Now when I'm logged into the sales connection one more time here. Okay, so I'm in the demo site. This has been very popular for agents to get started, to practice before they're in front of a client, to submit an e-application or run a quote. If you are contracted with Americo, you can access the demo site for sales connection. Simply click on New Illustration. This is where you choose the state. And our example is consistent here. Choose Eagle Premier Series, then click on Create. And a tip for today, if you hover over wherever there's a blue bubble, it'll give you an explanation of that question or feature benefit right here from Sales Connection. It's made it very popular. We'll keep the face amount the same here. We need to change this to a smoker if we're going to quote the Quit Smoking Advantage. I'm going to click Refresh over here on the right-hand side for a quick rate. But I just want to point out where you can quickly access all of that information that I shared a little bit earlier. That's with Sales Connection, and after today's training, I encourage you to submit an e-application on yourself, practice reaching those clients that are not only face-to-face, you can reach remote clients. To get started, simply go to www.americo.com and log into the agent portal, or you can access Sales Connection very quickly. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a blue button. The next screen that will populate is where you enter your username and password that you created for the agent portal and Sales Connection. Will be one and the same. If it is your first time, I just want to point out, click on Create New Account and follow those instructions. There's just a few pieces of information to register for an account on Americo.com. Your name, the last 4 digits of your social, your Americo agent number, and then it's important that we have a valid current email address for you to register for your account on Americo.com or Sales Connection. This is where you create your password, and there's instructions. And then once you log in, there's a couple places to access Sales Connection. This is important for not only Eagle Premier, but also HMS Plus, the term products that we're going to highlight, where agents are experiencing a lot of success and the opportunity to earn that 10% bonus, You First rewards as well. On the right-hand side, we have the web version for Sales Connection. Below, there's a, looks like a rainbow-colored soccer ball, is what I think it looks like. The demo version after today's training, you can log in, get familiar with the e-application process. This may prompt some additional questions that we can help you with. Over here is where you can open a case maybe that you started but not completed. You have up to 7 days to complete an e-application. Now, most of them are done right there at the point of sale, but I just wanted to mention you have up to 7 days. This is where you can run a new quote or new illustration or click on the button on the right, New e-application, to get started. If you're taking notes and want to take a practice test drive, submit an e-application on yourself, or practice reaching those clients that are remote, I would go ahead and bookmark scdemo.americo.com to get started. You can practice all you want. Just get in the habit of being aware of which version of Sales Connection that you're in, because when you're in front of a client ready to submit a true e-application for either Eagle Premier or HMS Plus, make sure that you're not in the demo site. Okay, to have the best experience, because otherwise we'd have to request you resubmit. What makes this process so popular and successful is this is an excellent practice management solution for agents that want to get paid more faster on their business. The objective, once you log into the e-application, is to turn each one of these red circles into green check marks. It's a fail-proof, goof-proof system. And it makes it very easy to ensure that you submit business to Americo that's complete, in good order. And I'm just going to highlight a few of the screens that are important to you. As you complete each section of the application, the red circles turn into green check marks here. When you select the product, there's a drop-down arrow, which makes this process so quick and easy. For final expense, there's 2 products. This is also where you would come back to if you discover your client is not eligible for Eagle Premier. You simply click on the drop-down arrow and offer the guaranteed issue product right there at the point of sale. Now, when you get to the underwriting portion, there are 2 options available for your clients that are face-to-face. You would choose tablet signing. It doesn't matter what type of device that you have. It can be a computer with a mouse. It can be a laptop with a signature pad. This just means your client is face-to-face. To reach more clients that are ready to buy, that need final expense, and some of the life solutions that we're going to cover in just a moment, you may consider email signature. As long as they have their own email address, you can send them an email, they can review the documents, sign, we can run that prescription check, and within 5 minutes is where you will receive, many times, an instant underwriting decision, depending on the complexity of the case that you're working on, if we're talking about HMS Plus. So here's an example. If the agent were to select email signing, what you can expect. If you click on email signing, it is important that your client, that they're available same day by midnight to sign either the health information authorization form or the application. That is one requirement. There's also an access code that will populate. The access code is the last 6 digits of the proposed insured Social Security number, and this just confirms the identity of the proposed insured. When you do send that email to an email address, we want to make sure that we're sending to the correct person to have them sign. The agent can override this access code, and if it's easier for you to make the access code an easier number, it's just important that your client have that access code in order to access the documents to sign by email. And you'll be able to practice all of this if you take a test drive in the demo site. I want to share an example of that instant underwriting decision that will populate on your screen in about 5 minutes. Right here, and everything looks good. This is where, for Eagle Premier, you can move forward, continue asking the questions. This saves agents valuable time right here. You have the underwriting decision. The entire process takes maybe 15 and 20 minutes at the most, and you're done. Another reason why I encourage you to take a test drive is to get familiar with the health questions for both Eagle Premier and HMS Plus. When you get to the health information questions on the left-hand side, you'll notice that Americo provides the pronunciation of the health conditions. that may be helpful to you. And these are all knockout questions for Eagle Premier. If your client answers yes to any of the health questions for Eagle Premier, you would need to offer the guaranteed issue product. They would not qualify for Eagle Premier. So that's an example of the health questions. Then when you have all green check marks, this is the message that you want to see appear on your device. Congratulations, the underwriting for the application for life insurance is completed and has been approved for coverage. Here's an important step that sometimes agents forget. Don't forget to click on the Submit button on the right-hand side. Even though you've got all green check marks, the two choices here is either withdraw a case or submit. If you do not hit the Submit button and 7 days goes by, you will need to start all over again because this information will be cleared out after 7 days. So it's important to hit Submit for the e-application.